In Spider-Man and Wolverine issue 5, the mystery of the Janus directory finally delivers its shocking revelations, including who really killed Peter Parker's parents, and why did Dreadshadow target Wolverine and Spider-Man? Before we get into it, a very quick recap for you. Wolverine has brought Spider-Man in on a mission to retrieve the Janus directory, a database of spies and double agents throughout history. When Spider-Man cracked into the file, he came across a video showing the very last moments of his parents, Richard and Mary Parker. Who was with them when their plane crashed? None other than Wolverine. And due to his lapse in memory from this time, Wolverine isn't even sure if he was or was not the person behind their deaths. Spider-Man launched a furious assault on his former friend, and this gave Wolverine no choice but to stab Peter using his claws. Both were rendered unconscious and teleported across the world, clad in their old costumes, their wounds dressed, and wearing immovable bracelets that enabled their teleportation against their will. A previously unknown villain, Dreadshadow, revealed himself as being behind the plot, having gathered several other foes to help him. He made a shocking announcement. He knows Peter's secret identity. Spider-Man then managed to take control of the bracelets, brought Wolverine to New York, and removed them. Suddenly, Teresa, Peter Parker's sister, bursts onto the scene and fired a shot at Wolverine, using bullets forged from the Muramasa blade, the one thing capable of killing Logan. Before catching up with the present, we flash back to years ago to a character called the Enforcer, Charles Delasny Jr., a criminal mercenary and assassin for hire. He opens fire with two guns. Spider-Man, in his black suit, swings in with Wolverine backing him up. The pair are trying to stop Delasny from targeting a squad of police officers. Spider-Man webs him up and throws him against a police van. As Delasny is currently vulnerable, Wolverine prepares to make a lethal move, but Spider-Man intervenes, insisting, "Logan, don't," appealing to his no-kill rule. Returning to the present, Dr. Octopus approaches Dreadshadow, telling him that he had Wolverine at his mercy, and he doesn't understand why Dreadshadow teleported him away. Dreadshadow replies that actually, it was Spider-Man who seems to have control over the teleportation devices. When Doc Ock asks if there is a contingency for Spider-Man getting away, Dreadshadow confirms yes. Now, the endgame is here. All the pieces are on the board. Wolverine is gravely injured. He was shot by a bullet from the Muramasa blade. Spider-Man, brutally injured, costume torn, and extremely tired, is currently in shock. He asks Teresa, "What did you do?" She confirms, "I just killed the man who killed our parents." She gives context. 2 days ago, the Janus directory was leaked onto the dark web. Also leaked was the very same video Peter saw, the one of their parents' last moments on the plane about to crash, and implicating Wolverine as being on the plane with them. Teresa also notes that she was also on the plane. She somehow survived and was rescued, but now she's convinced Wolverine was working alongside the Red Skull and the Finisher, and that the video proves it. She tells Spider-Man, "He's the one who brought the plane down in the first place, and I did what you apparently couldn't." During this conversation, Wolverine slowly begins to recover, claws ready, and he lunges at Teresa. Spider-Man shouts again, "Logan, don't!" In desperation, he uses his webs to pull Wolverine back. He initially hoped that the reveal that he actually has a sister would slow Logan down, but unfortunately, it did not. As Spider-Man tries to hold Wolverine back, this gives Teresa an opportunity to take another shot. Spider-Man, injured and weakened, complains that his stitches are practically popping. In this case, literal stitches, since he was recently stabbed by Wolverine. At that moment, Dreadshadow teleports in and observes the situation, saying that this is fitting. Spider-Man once more trying to stop Wolverine from killing. Dreadshadow slams his sword down and begins to monologue. "You go to bed each night sleeping soundly, believing you did good, that you're heroes." He then begins to argue that they are not heroes, just irresponsible men without honor, killers by other means. He then spreads his mechanical arms, revealing that he is packed with missiles and large weapons, and exclaims, "My daughter is dead because of you." Spider-Man, Teresa, and Wolverine try to evade, but are caught in large explosions. Dreadshadow continues to explain that years ago, when Spider-Man and Wolverine had the chance to end the Enforcer, who had already killed hundreds, they didn't. Spider-Man stopped Wolverine from killing him because of his no-kill policy, and Wolverine, following Spider-Man's lead, held back. The Enforcer was arrested by police and sent to the raft, but later escaped and went on a crime spree, during which he killed Evelyn, Dreadshadow's daughter. Dreadshadow reveals that after S.H.I.E.L.D. came into possession of the Janus Directory, Dreadshadow had been given the ammo necessary to take down Spider-Man and Wolverine. S.H.I.E.L.D. disbanded shortly afterwards, but he had already deduced that Spider-Man had an obsession with Richard and Mary Parker. He put the clues together, and he figured out that Spider-Man must be Peter Parker. Now the next part of his plan was to show the video to Spider-Man without raising suspicion. Back in the battle, Dreadshadow, using his mechanical arms, repeatedly attacks Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Teresa. He aims to make them destroy one another to prove they're not heroes. So this comes back to what we saw in issue 1 with Bill Branscombe, which, with the proper motivation, was able to set Wolverine on the path to collecting the Janus Directory. Dreadshadow continues to knock the trio over and over. They seem helpless to be able to stop him or slow him down. At one point, Wolverine finds an opportunity to counter Dreadshadow, holding up his claws close to Dreadshadow's face. Dreadshadow taunts him, "Kill me, prove my point." Wolverine hesitates. Spider-Man urges him to handle this the right way. Send Dreadshadow to prison. As Wolverine remains conflicted, drawing his blades back in, we see that suddenly Dreadshadow is stabbed through the chest with 3 blades. Teresa has stepped in, doing what Spider-Man and Wolverine could not, and she says, "You wanted to show them that they're not heroes, but that's fine, because I was never one." Even after this, Dreadshadow stands back up, continuing to mock them, saying they are predictable, that his point remains. He attempts to teleport out of the fight, but something goes wrong. His teleportation device bracelet begins to glow red. His technology overloads, releasing a huge explosion that obliterates Dreadshadow, leaving only one mechanical arm behind. The trio stands over the smoldering remains. Spider-Man admits that even though he's glad it's over, perhaps Dreadshadow wasn't entirely wrong. He tries to think through the consequences of what they, as heroes, do, and whether sometimes they play God when they have no right to. Wolverine urges Peter to not let Dreadshadow's twisted view get into his head, but Peter insists he wasn't being manipulated. Rather, Dreadshadow simply showed him a new perspective. Spider-Man reflects on what it means to be a hero, admitting he may be indirectly responsible for Dreadshadow's daughter's death. Wolverine replies, "Being a hero means stepping up when villains threaten innocent lives, even if it means making choices that seem godlike." 1 week later, now at Rand Enterprises, Peter, Logan, and Teresa are reviewing restored footage from the Janus Directory. It's revealed that what had seemed like solid video evidence had in fact been doctored. They recover more footage than was first available. Richard and Mary Parker see Wolverine on the plane and ask him, "What the hell are you doing on this plane?" Wolverine replies that he was sent by S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect them. The Red Skull had dispatched the Finisher to kill them. Wolverine had spotted a C4 charge under the wing just as the plane was about to take off. He cuts it away, but his heightened sense of smell detects more explosives on board. Then the plane explodes and begins to crash. As Richard and Mary face their final moments, they refer only to their son, taking comfort that he will be looked after by Ben and May. They make no mention of a daughter. Teresa reveals that the chameleon had once told her she might not be Peter's real sister. She initially thought the chameleon was messing with her, but now begins to believe it may be true. Peter is deeply concerned, but Wolverine gives advice. Teresa needs time to process all of this. The main thing is that now this is all over, for now, but there's still danger. Villains like Dr. Octopus, Kraven, Mysterio, and Omega Red are gathering. They are aware that Dreadshadow is now dead, incinerated by his own failing teleportation tech. Mysterio notes that although Dreadshadow is gone, he at least succeeded in one thing, bringing these villains together. The issue ends on that ominous note: more trouble is coming. And if you're still craving more Spider-Man content, then make sure to check out my Spider-Man playlist, or check out the rest of my channel where I upload content just like this every single week. But for the meantime, peace, peace, peace.